you for staying with us on the spot. My name is Aaron Isaac. Yes, indeed, there's a lot that is happening in Nigeria today, you would say, from the political space down to the economy. We have questions bordering around insecurity in the country. Evidently, you would say, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is trying to navigate his way steadily in understanding how to pilot the affairs of the country. Nigeria, coming out from where it came out from 8 years ago, is finding it difficult to really place its foot on the right pedal to drive the country forward. As it stands right about now, there's a lot of question that is begging for answer across Nigeria. And while we talk about the sectors in the country, we have political interplay that are playing out that is really impeding on the performance and growth of this particular country called Nigeria. From Rivers State to Ondo State, the intrigues continue. And here in Adamawa State, of course, fingers are crossed to see what will happen at the appeal court sitting in Abuja over the election of His Excellency, Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri. Of course, you know that the All Progressives Congress candidate in the 2023 presidential election, who lost out on the tribunal, has appealed this matter to the appeal court. And we're waiting, as it stands right about now, to see what the outcome of that appeal would look like. Well, this is On the Spot. We're here to set the agenda and further the conversation. I hope you stick around to find out what we have to set today. Thank you for staying with us on the Sport, reaching live from our Modiri Hills studios. And yes, of course, we're taking a look at developments, political developments here in Nigeria, and indeed back home here in Adamawa State to find out what the issues are. We don't know if the cock has come home to roost, but developments reaching us right about now is that the appeal court sitting in Abuja has today, Monday, dismissed the petition by the All Progressives Congress and its governorship candidate, Senator Aishatu Dahiru Binani, seeking to invalidate the election of Umaru Ahmadu Fintri as the duly elected governor of Adamawa State. The appellate court held that Governor Fintri of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, was lawfully declared winner of the poll by the Adamawa State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal. Judgment written by Justice Tunde Oyebanji Awotoye threw out the case of Binani and APC on various grounds of abnormalities. And so, joining me right about now to further the conversation on the Spot today, joined by the organizing secretary of the All Progressives Congress here in Adamawa State and president of Comr, Mustapha Ribadu. Comrade, it's a pleasure to have you join me on the program.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
So where do we kick off from? I guess this is the most important point to begin with, because it's better we begin from home. Talk to me about the appeal court, ruling regarding the election petition case that was appealed by Senator Aishatu Binani. How does the APC see this, judgment?
As a Democrat, as a politician, it is a very difficult situation for us in politics because still people don't have faith in the electoral umpire, that after elections, for most of the seats, there's litigations up to the maximum court that people have to go from the president, governors. Most of these cases go to Supreme Court.
Exactly.
And Senate and the House of Representatives and State Assemblies always go up to the appeal court. That is where the buck stops. It's unfortunate. We expect Nigerians to start having faith in the electoral body so that after the elections, let there be very minimum litigation. Let there be no or very little litigation.
Okay.
And because of the problems of the political terrain and also the arbitrators, that is the Independent National Electoral Commission,
okay.
That problem is what is transmitting to candidates, to political parties, not to believe what the political umpire has said. That's why people go to court, and sometimes courts upturn so many cases, so many candidates get their mandate through the court. I think it's not healthy.
I want to assume that the APC was, feeling elated with the matter that was entered for appeal, because it was believing that somehow, peradventure, the hands of the law could favor the All Progressives Congress candidates who vied in the 2023 presidential election.
What I'm saying, generally speaking, is very unfortunate that in this country, after election, we always go to court because of the lack of faith to the electoral body. So I think we hope that we should grow after declaring the result. People should accept it. But if there are some problems here and there with the political umpire, people must go to court.
Okay.
But if you can recall 2011 elections, there's little litigation because people believe the election was free, fair, and credible to some extent. People did not even go to court many people did not go to court in 2011. That's the time that they introduced card reader and the rest. But today, in almost all the states, candidates and political parties have filed from the tribunal up to appeal court and to the Supreme Court. We have seen some senator lost it at the appeal court. Some member state of assembly lost it at the appeal court. So we are yet to see a governor losing at the Supreme Court for now, but we have seen where Kano lost at the tribunal, they also lost at the appeal court.
Intriguingly lost at the appeal court.
Yes.
Because that moment is still a moment that we're yet to define properly regarding Kano State. Yeah,
I agree. And also, it is very unfortunate that as politicians, we take our faith to the judiciary. Our faith should be with the electoral body. And if you look at what happened in the judgment of Kano, I think it's a disappointment to politicians and also to the judiciary, because we have seen what happened, and they were even claiming that after releasing the CTC, that is a certified true copy of that judgment, they denied that it was a mistake. It was a mistake, a mistake not only in one paragraph, two paragraphs, one sentence, one word, the whole judgment. That a mistake that changed the whole of the narrative, the whole of the judgment. I think this mistake is a costly mistake and is an embarrassment to say the least. Okay. And coming back to Adamawa, when the APC and the candidates went to the tribunal, and me in person, I think I voiced it somewhere that I did not believe with what the wreck of Adamawa State, Mr. Hudu did in Adamawa.
Now, take a listen. It's good you mentioned that. There's a paragraph that captured that. He said the court said it was wrong for Binani to be taking Panadol for the headache of the resident electoral commissioner, REC, who opted to take laws into his hand. And I quote, "In the eyes of the law, the resident electoral commissioner is on his own. He should be allowed to take responsibility for his illegal and unlawful actions."
Yes, that's my opinion too. Because it's not about Adamawa State, it's not about Binani, it's not about the APC.
It's about
democracy, it's about Nigeria. If the REC will just, and if any REC can just walk into the hall and announce his preferred candidate without even completing a counting of the vote, I think we are not in a banana republic. It's not fair, no matter who will be the beneficiary. It's not right, and Nigerians should understand that this man called Hudu should be taken to court, as yes, they have taken him to court, and people are waiting to see which kind of justice are they going to serve on him, because you cannot allow such things to happen and somebody goes scot-free. You cannot just come in, take the laws into your hands, and do what you have done, and you claim to be a lawyer, and you have done that. If you look at his, as a lawyer, you look at his age, he's a retired permanent secretary, and you do that. So I think something is wrong somewhere.
Okay.
And if he did not roll after doing such kind of a thing, because if to say it's happened in another state, not Adamawa, maybe many people must have lost their lives.
But on the contrary, beyond your personal opinion, I want to assume, correct me if I'm wrong, common perception or so popular perception would put it that the APC feels what Hudu here in Adamawa State did was actually in the favor of the party. Should be acknowledged because on that premise, Senator Aisha Binani won the governorship election here in Adamawa State.
According to Hudu. So,
according to Hudu?
Yes, according to Hudu. So, which I told you, even the other time when we discussed, I told you I'm not in agreement with what Hudu did. Litigations, in my opinion at that time, as somebody who maybe is having diploma in law, I know little about law, but litigations, in my opinion, should go about, that is boycotting or bypassing the card reader, maybe adding some figures here and there, which I don't think the election was perfect. There are so many imperfections in that election. But when you literally assume that what Hudu did is what you are banking on, I think it's not right. And it's even shameful for somebody.
An act of mediocrity.
Completely. Yeah. And you cannot just put something on nothing and expect it to stand. It's not possible. And Hudu must face the law for posterity to judge us and let it serve as a detriment for other people who think that they can take the laws into their hands and go scot-free. You cannot just come out as a resident electoral commissioner, announce result where you don't have that right to do it, because the electoral law is very clear. Because in the past, around 2003, the resident electoral commissioners used to announce the result. But since the
amendment to the electoral,
yes, most of the time they used to be they are partisans. You can see that they have a particular candidate who have been maybe fueling their activities, rinsing their palms for a very long period of time, maybe 2-3 years, yes. Even lobbying from the appointment. Even Hudu's appointment to Adamawa, we know how he came to Adamawa. We know people who lobbied for Hudu to come to Adamawa to do a particular job. So that's why the electoral act...
Doesn't that sound like an indictment?
We know, with no apology, we know. I know what happened at that time. So, and I have no apology for anyone for saying that. After the government sat down and they look at it holistically, they think that we should at least appoint a returning officer, that is RO, to be announcing the result, people who are not partisans, and mostly they source these people from the universities and from higher institutions, some people who are just doing ad hoc job to come and do this and announce the result. The Electoral Act is very clear that the result should be announced by the returning officer. And I wonder why
the President Electoral Commissioner
should do that. And some people who we believe are educated, some people who I value them, for some people who I thought they have high moral standard, accept that. And they were even saying that what Hudu has done is right just because it serves your interest. No, it's not right.
But they have a second version of the law. Maybe perhaps that second version, the other side of the law, could maybe consider it as lawful, the act of Hudu.
But look at what the judge said. Yes. So I think from the tribunal up to the appellate court, you have seen what the judges said.
Now, this is the second dismissal of this particular matter.